that make it exclusive. This for members only, you're probably not included. First watch finest, I only hang with shooters. If I pop out with this cannon, then we gon' make a movie. Yeah. I come through a gang on them and bang on them. Hanging out the window and put that flame on them. Anybody get these bullets ain't got names on them. Would you like to subscribe, then hit the play button? Yeah.
Now this is what I
don't
came
worry,
for.
Don't worry, Prestavia got it. Don't worry, Prestavia.
We ain't even got to your battle yet.
Prestavia got what?
Prestavia got to your
what?
battle yet, man. Relax, man.
Prestavia got what?
A lot to say to you. Don't worry about it.
2-1 over Easy right
now.
Hey, just make sure you free this winner.
Oh, I am.
All right,
winner too.
See you soon, gorgeous.
Are we about to hop to Easy and Calico?
The block.
I like the energy in here right now.
It's about crazier. Easy to block captain versus Calico. To me, this is basically the most, or could be the most competitive back and forth on the card.
Yo, Tito, set it off. I want Tito to set it off because I'm very interested because he likes both of these battlers.
I do. Bro, I love Cal. Love what Easy been doing, man. You know, I've talked about this a couple of times, but just to kind of reiterate kind of what I said before, because, you know, people keep the files. I did say I had Easy 2-1 clear in this battle previously. And I'm probably gonna stick with it, man. I just you don't let's get it. I gotta stand on 10, man. I just don't, because here's the thing, and I think Surf said it earlier, and I think it's a real thing, because you see this in sports, you see this in some of, if y'all know what, you know what I'm saying, my business, y'all know what I'm into, but like when somebody who you're, you know, who's part of your crew is on the same card, the same event, is performing the same as you, on the same event as you, the last thing you want to do is be the individual that fucks it all up. That's the last thing you want to do. And we can all assume safely that they're going to be going on a little bit later in the card. So Chess would have already battled, as an example, at least. Tay-Rock would have probably already battled, right? So just that alone, right? Like Surf said, the more gun titles wins, the harder it is for anybody who's not gun titles to win, because they're just gonna it's like a self-fueling machine. But when it comes to actually rap what's in the battle, I think styles make fights. Although there's a lot of similarities between Easy and Calico from a lot of their content, I do think their delivery is going to be the big difference here in this battle, where Easy weaves a lot of punch. Calico got a lot of setup. He got a lot of rev up that gets to this really beautiful concept, or he has quotables out the wazoo, while Easy is right to it in a lot of instances. Easy's dropping, you know, every 2, every 4, every 6, where Calico likes to go on these stretches of about 8 to 12 and kind of really weave that story. And I just think that kind of style is going to benefit Easy on SM, on a stage like that. It's going to hit a lot harder. And until somebody can clearly beat Easy, I have to bet on Easy to block captain, because until someone shows me that he's not really him, I gotta treat him as if he's him. So I got Easy 2-1 clear, but I do think that, you know, Calico is gonna have a great performance. We all know Cal's good for 3, solid, incredible rounds, quotables and all that. But it's Mr. Summer Madness against, you know, the hottest thing, the hottest streak in battle rap right now. And I think you're gonna see Easy to block captain come away with a clear win.
That's funny, because if you asked me like 2 weeks ago, I actually had the same outlook as Tito does, but I'm actually gonna go with Cal 2-1. So here's the thing. I agree with everything Tito said.
Don't try to switch up last minute, or at least state that.
No, my leaderboard is exactly what I'm saying right now. Yeah, because when we had this conversation before, I said I had Easy off of the same sentiments that Tito had, in terms of Easy's landing rate is a lot higher than Calico's. Like, I remember Black spent like this whole time talking about like, damn, it's kind of hard to really do a scorecard for like a Calico, because it's like, what punches am I really scoring? There's like segments of rapping that I really, really like, but it's like, there's nothing really, like, it's like a segment of something that's landing, not really a tangible line or a punch that's landing. And I went back, you know, did my research, you know what I'm saying, looked at all the battles, and I've noticed that Cal has a really great way of making stuff preference, especially against people that punch more than he does. The Ill Will battle, You know what I'm saying? You have some diehards that say like the Surf battle was close. I don't really think it's close, but that's another story. Even the Calico battle, I mean, even the GEECHI battle, right? GEECHI was punching at a very high rate, but Calico had a way of making his material, you know, somewhat like wash out some of the punches that were landing.
Lane, can I ask you a question?
What's going on?
Not to cut you off. Don't forget what you're saying. But it's still to the point of what you're talking about, right? So, I'm just listening to the context or whatever, you know, just listening to y'all, and you use certain words when you like, when you saying like scoring, Calico, right? And you use words like he doesn't have any like tangible punches and things like that. So, like when I hear words like tangible, it almost give me like, I don't know, sufficient, something in the same. I might be wrong, right? But I think so. When you're scoring a battle, right? Does the content or what you're receiving have to be even punch related to be scored for you? Because some things
No, and that's the point, and that was the point I was getting at. It's like something like, because for certain battlers, right, like a conceded to be Magic battle, that's a battle that you can easily judge because they're both punching. Exactly. Whereas Calico, and that's why I'm saying that's Calico's gift of making a battle super duper preference based, because he's always going to have a different style of attack. I look at that Ill Will battle. The reason why the Ill Will battle is so great is because you have Ill Will who's punching back to back, and you have Calico with these great rapping segments and this great real talk approach that kind of neutralize some of those great punches that we heard from Ill Will.
I'm a Cal fan, like, you know, it's just certain shit that just can't be like for example, like Cal, like, and I'll tell you know, I talk to EAZY, like EAZY got to fight, you know what I'm saying? So like, to me, and it's just me being a fan of the culture for forever, however it was put together, but just hypothetically, Cal just getting the point across that he's been on 9 out of 12 Summer Madnesses at 75%. That's a haymaker to me.
That's crazy.
Just because of the respect of the crowd. You know what I mean? We all should be respecting to the culture. You know what I mean? So it's like, if we talk about bars and the culture and shit like that, certain stuff is like, it don't be a haymaker, but he be hitting hard to me, because it's like, that nigga could say, like, I watched him grow up. That nigga could say, y'all seen me every other summer for half my life.
Yeah. Like even and then like even and then when he does do a punch, it hits even harder because it has a level of validity to it, or a level of realness to it. So it's the idea of, like, you know, Calico being able to not have to land a punch and still have the audience attention. And on top of that, like when I look back at some of his performances, like against a Tay-Rock, right, where like Tay-Rock, it was back-to-back punching, and Calico punched here and there, but it was great rapping. And I feel like that great rapping can sometimes outlast like great punches, right? Even though I'm not saying EAZY's just a regular back-to-back puncher, because he infuses other things, but he obviously punches heavier, or punches more often than Cal does. But I think that Cal also, and this is like a slight nuance thing, I think Cal also does a better job of you know, getting his point across, because he is to me, he's a better angler.
Your mic. You covering your mic, Lane?
Yeah, you sound a lot lower now as opposed to high before.
Can you hear me now? Do I sound better?
You good.
I feel like Calico is a slightly better angler too, than EAZY by a slight margin. Like by a slight margin.
It's like it's neck and neck.
Yeah, like
but
the only thing is, it's like I feel like he is better when he's actually focused on that particular person. The thing that hurts Cal is that Cal does have these segments where he's just doing like some anecdotal stuff, talking about his life and stuff like that, and that can kind of take away from the battle, and it can kind of not be directed towards his opponent. But when the times that he is focused on his opponent, his 3 rounds for chess was so masterful because it was crafted for chess. And I feel like if he can get into that bag, he could beat EAZY. And I feel like with those two things, him being able to neutralize you know, just another person punching, and how like great he is at angling when he is focused on a particular subject or a particular battler, I feel like that's enough for me to comfortably say that Cal can win this battle.
And I'll hop in next. First of all, I want to say that this battle is amazing. This is what the sport is about. For me, even though shout out to Surf, you know, Surf versus JC is going to go down as the statistical, you know, the main event. This battle for me is the one that makes the SM. I'm expecting outside of Nitty versus Ward this year, this is the only other battle I'm walking into where I could expect an instant classic. I really feel like it's almost a lock to be great. And I share a lot of the same sentiments. I think that these guys are, I don't want to say it's like a young version of Cal, but when we talk about elite real talk and strategy, these are just 2 of the best in the world at it. One for the new age, and then one of the better of all time. And speaking about Cal and how his material, some people take it as preference. I think Cal's a master of almost like the hidden haymaker, or in the sneaky haymaker, where on camera, in the building, there's not these large reactions. He doesn't really do a lot of doubles to the point that it's like, okay, set up, we get the reference, the punch comes, we put it together, and we react. You have bars like versus chess, gangstang, what you did is what you learned from that. You can't eat with us unless you starve with us, stuff like that, where the crowd lets him rap through it, in the building. But we watch that on camera, and we're like, yo, that shit is amazing. Doesn't necessarily need a 30-minute haymaker reaction, but it in terms of scoring, I would score something like that as a haymaker. And I think that's the beauty of Cal's style, and why a lot of people like him, is he gets to rap more through. It's not really based on crowd reaction, which, whether we like it or not, a lot of, I'd say, the average fan base is going to judge off of that, because that is part of battle rap. I will say that the what's tough for Cal in this one is EAZY does have a better pen, where when we talk about Cal's anecdotal, I believe is the term you use, or the talking about just the rhyme pocket, speaking on his own life, EAZY's going to be jabbing throughout that, so he's less likely to have a dry spot, just because you are going to be able to pick, 2 or 3 bars out, even in an area that doesn't have a haymaker. But for me, preference battle, like I said, it's going to be really close, but I have to go with Cal 2-1 edge as well. And a big part of that, a lot of, like the way I judge other battles, it's hard for me to bet against an extreme body of work. And Cal gets predicted almost every poll.
The way you explained it, I feel like he's going for EAZY. Can you get more to CALICOE side? I'm not saying that it's wrong, but it's
what I will say, which I was going to get into, I think that Cal has seen fights. You look at GEECHI last year, he was losing the polls of that, I believe 80-20, versus chess. Obviously he was losing the polls of that, and we would be here forever. We talked about every time that Cal was kind of predicted as the underdog going into a battle or someone beating him. And he has an amazing ability. I think there's only 3 or 4 guys in history to just not lose battles clear. There's just something incredible. In terms of wins, a lot of that, it comes up to subjectivity a lot of the time. But when it comes to losing clear, really to the point we can't debate it, it's very rare for him. I've seen a lot of challengers go in there. EAZY is one of the best. Don't get me wrong. This is as hard of a battle to call as we're probably going to get this year, and I'm expecting it to be so great that hopefully it surpasses just needing a winner. It's that great on camera. But Cal has shown me, especially versus chess, the counter writing was special. I mean, special. On the flip side, I know EAZY did it versus Goods, but I'm going to go with being there. We said 9 out of 12 SMs. EAZY, we agree, is one of maybe the bigger tests he's ever seen, but Cal has seen a lot of demons and all-time greats and other Hall of Famers up on that stage. And in a battle that's this close, I have to go with someone that's been there and has showed me for over a decade plus what he can do. Like I said, I'm expecting debatable. I'm expecting battle of the night, possibly battle of the year, but I'm going Cal 2-1 edge.
I gotta bring the battle rappers more up some more, because y'all on point today. Like, y'all giving like full flush answers, and like,
yeah, they talking about shit, man. What you talking about?
Hey, yo, last week was like, y'all got this second. Niggas going in for like 3 minutes. Like, say less.
Yeah. But see, I hear what they saying too, man. About that battle. I think one of the things that they trying to say without saying it is like, when it comes to the punching the CALICOE and shit like that. I think when you look at a CALICOE round, he's a nigga he's not there for the haymaker. He's not there for the punch, everything. He's right in for the whole round. You dig what I'm saying? So it's kind of like more so, I think, compare like boxing more than like any other thing. Whereas like a motherfucker might be looking at a punch count like, oh, he's landing all these headshots and this and that the whole time. He's steady getting solid body blows. He getting gut the whole round. You like, damn, I didn't even think he was landing no punches. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like how CALICOE right.
Like the equivalent. Yo, the
music, no funny
is...
shit. It's almost like battle rap. Like it's funny how it mirror music. You get what I'm saying? Because how like music went from nostalgic to now like the attention span is like, and we talk about the music side, is very low. I feel like as far as battle rap now, we listen in like small increments too. It's like if I ain't heard a punch in 10 seconds, you know what I mean? Like you know what I'm saying? It, like, some of us cover that, and we don't got a problem. You know what I mean, type shit. But it's like certain people like CALICOE and even EAZY, you got to listen in a cluster. Like, you got to listen in a cluster of like 30s. You know what I mean? Like a person like Cal, you got to listen in 30s. He gonna tell you what car he was in, what kind of guns was in there, what they had, what highway they was on, and where they going. You get what I'm saying? And if you're not listening to that type of content or listening for that, you like, wait, what is he talking? You know what I mean? You gotta, I think,
it sounds like it sound like he just rambling.
He's just rambling, right? And they'll naturally call it filler, and it's not. No, he's going somewhere. Like that might lead up to his punch, but because you don't want to take it in like that, you're not paying attention. So they was going up the highway to do whatever, and then he landed a punch afterwards. It's like, oh yeah, it took too long to get there. No, you just don't appreciate his crack, like his way of getting to that punch.
What I will say too is that I had to explain to somebody else who like wasn't as versed in battle rap. I was like, look, there are a lot of niggas in battle rap who write rounds. They write 3 rounds. Calico don't write rounds. He writes 3 verses. And that's really how I feel here. And there's a difference. He writes like what GEECHI, he writes verses, bro. He writes for the whole. If it's 230, he'll write for the whole 230. He don't write. I'm gonna write this.
Yeah, he
segment
writing for the whole totality of the battle. Like his all 3 rounds got to connect to each other. You dig what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like
It's a. And the thing is, to put it together, to try to state it concisely, what he does, he writes for a cumulative effect. It's a cumulative
Some
effect.
fans don't even understand that what they say with battles.
Exactly.
Like, some niggas writing that cumulative, like your favorite
yeah, so
battle.
a nigga, it's like you can't take one part of what he said without taking it in the totality of what he said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because
so
like Calico, like for me, when you watch a Calico battle, and the same to me, kind of with Easy as well. Like those, you know what I'm saying? Certain battlers is in that zone to where it's like it's like you don't win the battle until the battle is over. You dig what I'm saying? Like they're not really going for round wins. Like you can judge the Danny Myers round for round. Like yo, he won that round, he lost that round. You know what I'm saying? Cal is kind of more so by the time you get to the third, you figure out if he won or lost the battle. Kind of like with the chess battle, you know what I'm saying? Like round for round, people were saying chess was up 2, but then by the time you get to the third and it went the way Calico was saying it was gonna go in the first, it's like, oh, it's a 30 now.
See, and this is the thing. All right, so this is the thing. And Gotti, you I'm glad you're in here talking because niggas underestimate your battle IQ, and I'm glad you're talking like this so niggas understand how well you understand this shit. This what happened, bro. He's a technician, bro. Niggas don't get that. Gotti really know this shit. This is the thing, right?
I get
with
it.
The chess battle, it just so you can't predict that chess is gonna come out and throw up in his first round, and you just happen to write all your rounds constructed around him throwing up. But by the time we talk about cumulative effect, every round he talking about this nigga not sliding. You can't be a nigga that slides because you can't even take the pressure of a battle, right? That's what he's saying to him. That's his overall point. And by the time he says, I must be really dreaming, y'all got me on any given Sunday battling a nigga Willie Beeman, the battle was pretty much done at that point. But it just so happened that cumulatively he'd already been talking about the nigga throwing up, and then he threw up, and then he ends it with that line. It's kind of like that's the point of every battle that when a nigga's writing that way. That's the point. It's a cumulative effect.
I was in the building. I was a fucking room shaker.
Like a person, like a consumer won't like it's like people don't consume it like that. Like some of your favorites, like a person's technicals, like they might be like, all right, cool. My first round is my attack round. My third round is my personal round, my such and such. So a fan might call it a decline when in reality, no, their approach is changing per round. Like it's changing per the fight. That's why you kind of got to take it in totality.
Facts. It's not something. It's as a whole. You can't view it in a vacuum. You got to literally look at it how it affect the opponent or how they battle them compare over the whole.
You know what's crazy too. Like to even more illustrate that, just even simple like this. I've seen a lot of battle rappers get they shit quoted in a tweet. A lot of Calico shit. They post a whole clip, a 30-second clip, because you gotta listen to the whole 30 seconds of him rapping to even understand what he's really saying. And then to let you appreciate the whole thing, where a lot of battle rappers you condense into a line or two of text, but to really understand what Calico was really talking about, you gotta listen, and that's just a testament to he's really up there painting, bro. He's really up there painting.
And to give Easy his credit, the thing that make Easy dope, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna crack his head one day because I don't think I'm the only nigga that really gonna crack it the way it's crack, right? You know what I'm saying? But to give him his credit, the thing that make him dope that I do like about him is he understands what the fans like about another opponent, and he learns how to attack just that. You know what I'm saying? Like
literally just that.
Just that. Like, oh, y'all like this, so then I'm about to go at this.
I'm gonna make this look funny. If I can take the one thing, if I can take the one thing that y'all love and make it look funny, it eliminates it.
Then it eliminates it. You dig what I'm saying? He learned that. Like if you watch all his battles, that's exactly what he do. Oh, y'all like this about Verb? I'm gonna talk about this. Y'all goods get money? I'm gonna talk about how getting money don't mean nothing. You dig what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna talk about all of these different these one attributes that y'all keep it like ostracizing that y'all make bigger. I'm a minuscule it. You know what I'm saying?
Easy's a tough fight. Easy's a tough fight for anybody right now because it's like you go through this gap in your battle rap career. Like once you transition into like the stars and the top tiers and shit, you go through a point in your career like GEECHI. Obviously, you know what I'm talking about. It's like you go through once they realize like, oh, this is a star right here. Then our ears become open to your story. Right now, Easy is in the middle of explaining himself. We're literally in the midst of watching Easy become. Obviously, he's top tier, but he's still in, like, you know what I mean. He's blossoming in front of motherfuckers. So it's hard to beat him when we're open to his story. You know how that effect go, Geechee. Then when everybody know you, now they judge you different. Now straight down the middle. Right now, he got that blossoming effect. So he's on an incline. You know what I mean? So motherfuckers that's already at their peak or sitting in their chair, they got a tough time because we're very open. Like, we still listening to Easy stories about them pixie sticks and the sawdust in the wall. Like, we still want to hear it because you know what I mean, it's still new. That's a tough fight. That's a tough fight.
I want to make a point too. Just something that
Easy
could play
3-0.
into